What is up, everybody?
Oh, hey Ryan.
What's happening?
Sorry, I was just doing a little lightsaber practicing, which is normal for a man of my age, right?
Wait a minute. I don't understand. That appears to be a Star Trek, a Federation uniform you're wearing, right?
Yes, I'm wearing my Starfleet Harbor Masters hoodie, and yes, I'm using a lightsaber at the same time. Now, how could that be? I'm glad you asked. I like to call it, and Trekkies will get this reference, the best of both worlds. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
But by the way, the weather
up
here. You want to know the secret? You want to in a little secret?
Lay it on me.
Although yes, I'm wearing my uniform top because I'm fucking awesome. It is also nice enough here that I'm also wearing shorts, baby.
Wow.
I know.
That's
here
a
we
special
are.
kind of. Oh wait, but under the uniform, are you red shirt? Are you yellow shirt? What
am I? Do you really want to know what I'm going to show you? Are you ready for this? Because you're
ready.
probably the only person who will appreciate this.
Yeah.
Because I may be a Trekkie by night, but by day, I'm always thinking about work, baby. So nice. Under there somewhere, I was IDM.
All right.
I shouldn't have said the word, though. I know.
I'm giving you the shout out, the clap for that. All right. Well, good.
I appreciate that.
And you know what? We're going to have a couple of stories in this week's show that are going to bleed over into work, I think. Because I don't know about you, but I have a special personal story that you thought was hilarious. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up.
Bring it up, baby.
Because you goaded me to do so. But I had a sleep study this week.
I just ripped my hoodie.
Dude.
I literally.
You got to watch it with the lightsaber,
really
man. They're dangerous.
Go on.
But I had a sleep study this week, and that is something that I've suffered from sleep apnea for a while.
Yeah.
But I hadn't had a sleep study in a long while. I think over 5 years, which is not recommended. So I had to go back in and do like the original full-blown sleep in a laboratory, and they put leads all over your head, your face, your body, even heart monitor, all this stuff, and then they watch you with infrared cameras and all kinds of devices while you sleep all night. So it was you thought it was a joke, that it was like,
I didn't think it was a joke. My questions were legitimate and fair. Folks, my question was I know what a sleep study is, and I probably should have one. I'm a terrible sleeper. But my question for Ryan was very legitimate. I wanted to know, once he was plugged into the Matrix, did he find Neo? And if so, are we all going to be free soon? He clearly was taken from this part of the simulation into a loading program.
Yeah.
That's what a sleep study is. Trust the science. And I just wanted to know that. Why does that have to sound so cruel? These are legitimate questions.
It's a good point. It's a good point. I will say this. It did feel a little bizarre because you have all that stuff on you, by the way, and then they tell you to act natural, but you do feel like you're in a pod with all the leads, just like in the film, except there were none in my spine, and I didn't have the gelatinous, pod, but yeah, I did have those thoughts, and I did have some, once I did get to sleep, some weird thoughts and weird dreams, and my muscles started twitching, and I thought, are they like beaming stuff into my brain? That's what my wife does.
They were, dude.
Did they like beam some messages?
That's the agents. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's the agents. You got to, dude. The Matrix is real. It has you. The Matrix has you, buddy. You got to trust me.
So you're saying I had a chance to get out, maybe? Okay, whatever.
That was your chance. That was your shot, and you fucking blew it. Now it's over.
We'll see what the results are. All right, cool. Folks. Let's get into the first subject here. So this week we have some cool stuff to talk about. So, as always, you have these harebrained ideas about new shows and new series and new always. Whatever. And I usually sort of I always want to
invest,
sort of support you.
You want to support? You know what, Ryan?
As best I can.
You're such a good friend. You're always supporting my dreams.
Best I can. But let's talk about the one this week. Look, I'm giving you prime real estate. We're going to talk about this first.
Right. Okay. So for those of you who don't know what the Glomar Explorer is, okay, super nerdy subject, but it's a really fascinating ship. So a long time ago, there was this Soviet submarine. It had a bunch of missiles on. It was a nuclear sub, a boomer, if you will. and it sank in the Pacific. Yeah, and so the idea here was that this ship. This is the Glomar Explorer. You see that big derrick sticking off the top of it? Underneath that is a huge moon pool that opens up underneath the ship. And coming out from that is a giant claw. By the way, this is all real. This actually happened.
This sounds terrifying to me.
No, it's a real thing. And the claw was supposed to go down and pick up the entire submarine and bring it up into the bay of this big ship. But unfortunately, there was all these problems. It turned out that the K-129 was broken in half, and then the claw kind of partially failed. They only got part of the sub up. One of the nuclear missiles actually fell, and they didn't know if it was going to detonate when it hit, and all this crazy stuff. But it had a cover story because the CIA actually did this. And the cover story was that the Glomar Explorer was actually going and extracting manganese. Am I saying that right? Manganese? I don't know. But they were going to extract these nodules from the ocean floor, right? These big balls of metal. So the cover story is that it's just a simple mining ship. The reality is they were going to scoop up this submarine. All of that is real. It all really happened. Manganese. That's even better thing. What did I say? I don't even know what I said. But my thought was, what if that was a double deception? What if that wasn't at all what the ship did? What if, and it's a big what if, folks, what if it wasn't about nodules, it wasn't about a submarine, it was actually sent to bring up an alien spacecraft that had crashed in the 1960s, and that's what the Glomar Explorer was actually doing. And here's what's really cool. When they bring up the ship, of course, they open it up. Big mistake. Why? Aliens are still alive in hibernation, and they set the aliens free, and everything just goes fucking crazy from there, right? So,
okay, awesome. Did you watch Tomorrow War on Amazon?
Did not.
With our boy Chris Pratt, aka the Dinosaur Whisperer.
No, but I will. But last thing I'm going to say about this is my title, proposed title for this, Azorian, is because the name of the project was Project Azorian, and then I thought it would be really cool if it turns out that Azorian. It's actually the name of the aliens. And we find out in the end of the series that we've been in touch with them. And this wasn't a discovery. This was a rescue. Whoa!
Dude. Okay, this is giving me good vibes. And I think I would greenlight it with my production, my little known production company, RAB Inc. Yes. I like it.
I have one more show idea.
It gives me Abyss. It gives me Abyss vibes, and it gives me
Abyss vibes.
Tomorrow War vibes. Yeah.
So think of it like the Abyss meets Tomorrow War, right? So I really like the idea.
I got it. Okay. You always need a pitch like that. That's what you got to put at the top of your email.
I have one more show pitch. Can I just? It's really, really quick. You're gonna like this one. So, I was with my boy Matty Denning, Matty D, aka PowerPoints, and when we were on a site visit in Boston this week.
Yep.
It was a very good week. And now I'm distracted by other thoughts. But there we came up with this idea of what if there was a show, I already got you, on Hulu, not Netflix this time, Hulu. And the idea is it's all about a bunch of like rough and tumble, like, kind of like street fighting kids from Southie who park cars at all the major restaurants in Boston, only it's actually a major drug running ring and a murder for hire business.
Nice.
And of course, there's a whole FBI trying to bust them subplot.
Sure.
And the name of the show, Valet.
I like it. Can we introduce laser swords somehow?
Of course, dude. You can't have a show
like each of the gang members need to have like a custom, like their own customized, murder tool.
Anyway, those are my show pitches for the week. Thanks.
I like it.
I know, of course you do.
I like it. I like it. You know what else I like?
It's all here.
You know what else I like?
I don't know.
I like these. I like these two guys.
I do like these two guys.
So make Solo 2 happen is a hashtag that I hope is trending. If it's not, it's a hashtag we want to trend because, look, we need more Star Wars, but we need more good Star Wars. We talked last week. I know you and I debated if the Book of Boba Fett was worthwhile or what went right, what went wrong, all that. But
sure,
I can tell you right now, Solo 2 needs to happen. What's your take?
So I totally think Solo 2 needs to happen. By the way, this scene that's on screen right here reminds me of when we were at Tririga University, I think it was years ago, and I tricked you into wearing the same thing as me every single day, and you actually went for it.
Yeah, and then it became like a thing.
Then it became a thing, which was cool, but it kind of reminded me of that moment where you're like, why are we doing this? And I was like, because we're friends. And you're like, no, we're not. Right. So, but anyway, I really love Solo. Now, to me, the end all be all in many ways, and it's hard to debate like the level of greatness of these films, but Rogue One is arguably very likely the best Star Wars ever made. And there's, A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi, kind of lump them all together as being amazing. Empire obviously is extraordinary. But I really liked Solo, right? Yep. I mean, I really liked it. Like, I thought it was from beginning to end a very good movie. Yes, it had some campy, sort of silly stuff in it, like where he gets his name and But I thought, I can't remember the guy's name, but I really thought he did a great job as Solo. It seemed like Solo.
Guy,
I thought that guy was great as Solo.
His name is Harrison Jr., I think, right?
Yeah, I think Harry Jays, as he's also known. I thought Donald Glover, right? Glover as Lando Calrissian was fantastic. But dude, I also just love the sets and the ships and L3. Kind of fell in love with the robot a little bit. Like, that was weird. And
well, you know what? Rogue One and Solo,
the Falcon was gorgeous, and
to me, the robots stole the show in many regards in both of these films, Rogue One included. So,
yeah, robots stole the show. I thought the Falcon was beautiful. It was great to see the Falcon new. It was cool to see the game where he lost it. It was great to see where the whole can you do the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. Like, there were a lot of really, and I also love when he said that nobody like cared, and yet that was like a big deal to him. So I would really like to see them do another Solo, and I'd really like to see them do another Solo that has the two of them in it.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I don't think you can.
There needs to be there totally should be the buddy film with them, and I'm sure that's what happened, right?
Yeah,
so I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah, have them go on some crazy run, or I don't.
Well, let me ask you. So I was getting retrospective of like what you were saying about like why I should chill out and enjoy Boba Fett. I kind of had the same reaction to Solo when I saw it in the theater. I started picking apart like, I thought they were doing the checkbox of like Solo's identity, but when I've watched it like 10 times now, and now I love it and I enjoy it for every reason you just said. So I'm with you. I want Solo 2 to happen.
Yeah, and here's the thing that people have to remember: like, just stop. Like, just let Star Wars be Star Wars. Like, it's okay if it's a little goofy or campy or not what you expect, or like that was is the imperfections of Solo, and in many cases Boba Fett, is what to me make it so good. Like, it's like you and I talked about. Like, I like the fact that Boba Fett is just like a caring community leader, and Mandalorian is like the ultimate space dad. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
And with Solo, I like the fact that they were like, it was like a campy, it was like 21 Jump Street in space. Like, that's cool.
Well, and it turns out that like Solo, like once we see him in the main films in the original trilogy, he's this scoundrel and he's got this rep, and it's like all of that was just him like surviving long enough and scoring a few things to where, you build this mythos that's kind of fake, right? Like all the catchphrases and everything was stuff he was like seeing if it would stick, and it was fun. It was funny the way he did that. And then, you jump 10 years and all of a sudden he's just like a fixture because you've heard about him. And that's it makes sense. It's cool.
I like it. The only way they're going to make Solo 2 happen, though, is if they bring up enough manganese nodules from the
ocean. Oh, really? Floor. Yeah, that's what I heard. Okay.
And we've come full circle.
They need more Woogiees. All right, let's talk about another film that is has a pretty big anniversary. I love this film so much. I love this there's a trilogy here, right? And so Hot Fuzz, man.
Shaun of the Dead and At World's End.
Shaun of the Dead, and then
it's actually Shaun of the Dead, then Hot Fuzz, then At World is the Coronado trilogy.
Right. But I will say Hot Fuzz for me, man.
Yarp.
I mean, hilarious. I don't know. I could watch this and Shaun of the Dead like all day, every day. This is one of those films that I think when it comes on or you see it on cable or whatever, you sit down and you just watch it.
Yeah. So it's a brilliant movie. I mean, it's definitely the top of all of them. I know people sometimes argue that Shaun of the Dead might be a little better, and I can see how you would say that, especially if you're a big zombie fan. But to me, this isn't just the greatest of the trilogy. This is one of my all-time favorite films. I mean, it is a masterfully written movie. It is a perfectly shot film. It is unbelievably hilarious. The first time I saw the movie, I was like, where has this thing been all my life? And I only saw it for the first time, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. So it had already been out for a while. But it's just, and you know, I love any movie where you can tell the cast had a lot of fun making it, right? Like Young Frankenstein, or something like the Mel Brooks movies. Like you could tell those people just had a blast working together, and they made a really good movie because of it. So I cannot watch Hot Fuzz enough. In fact, I'm going to watch it tonight. Well, I don't know. Olympic
we
Channel,
need a week's in viewing party for some of these recommendations and nerd out about it. What do you think?
We do, but it's a great movie. Hey, what's really funny is that today in I don't know if you know this, but the United Kingdom is being hit by this like crazy windstorm, which we got here in New England, the better England, and well, it's true.
I can't believe it's not England.
The former Massachusetts Bay Colony. Right. So anyway, I can't believe it's not England. That's Massachusetts' new tagline.
Y'all need a new flag, right? You need a new catchphrase to go with it.
Oh my God! But anyway, so I think it actually may have been in the town where the movie was filmed, but it was something like that. But this steeple of a church fell off in the windstorm units that they're having, and everybody thought of the scene in Hot Fuzz where the piece of the church falls on Tim Messenger. So it was just really.
My love of Hot Fuzz is not only is it hilarious, but it kind of plays on the tropes and the formula of the whodunit, and the way it brings it all back around in the end, where it is very much almost like the movie Clue or something, where they're piecing it all together. Like, it's just brilliant. You're right.
It's so brilliant, and it's really made for the greater good. So
it is.
It's just a great movie. So happy 15th anniversary to Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, all of them, and brilliant film.
So we're not done with Simon Pegg yet.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw the news.
I don't
know if you saw the news this week.
Gotti.
I don't know if you saw the news this week, but I have something for you that's going to warm your heart. And it's Star Trek Kelvin U Part 4. Yeah. I think that's the part of the title. This got truncated a little bit. I think A Journey Home, or I don't know. They're working on the title.
Kelvin U Part 4.
They're working on the title, folks. But I just wanted to say that Pine and Simon and all the Quinto and everybody, I love how they only listed the dudes. But they're returning for a fourth film, and
sounds like the media.
I think they did this primarily so that they could show off that Enterprise ship that you love so much.
I do. So in the end of Star Trek Beyond, or the Star Trek Part 3 of the Kelvin universe, as we all definitely are aware, we at the very end of the scene, they go to this reception, and when they look out the window, they see
they're building.
They're building NCC 1701A. Which is really, really cool. So the sort of standard Star Trek universe, NCC 1701A, is actually my favorite starship. So not just the Constitution class refit, but the actual Enterprise class Alpha, right? So I think I got that right. Dave Ellis, if I didn't get that right, let me know. We love you, brother. Hope you're doing okay over there. Yes, but we got to see that ship, and I really wanted to see where they were taking that. And then it looked like they weren't going to make a movie. Then they were going to make some like Quentin Tarantino Star Trek film, which I was like,
I heard about that.
Reservoir Dogs in Space, maybe. But I'm really excited that they're returning to this universe. They're bringing the cast back. I still want to buy that jacket, and I'm pumped. So this is another one of those things where it's like, look, Star Trek, the first one, 2009. Phenomenal film all the way through it. Absolutely stellar. Star Trek Into Darkness, not that great. Okay,
I enjoyed it. I just watched it last week again. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, but it's like, eh. And then Star Trek Beyond was kind of getting back. It kind of felt like a real, almost like an original series episode in a movie format, right? It's kind of like had some campy, kind of fun, crazy stuff in it. So I have high hopes for number 4. And look, dude, in many ways, even bad Trek is better than no Trek, but I'm just glad. And there's so much Trek right now with Picard and Strange New Worlds.
But let me tell you though, two things.
Let me see another movie.
I got 2 things here. One is I enjoyed Into Darkness more, I think, than Beyond, because I felt like it was more spaceship action. I know it was kind of corny with the big ship and the dreadnought and all that, but I like the spaceship action, and Beyond took place on a planet primarily. So anytime like Star Trek,
Yorktown was a bit much.
Star Trek Insurrection, same thing. Brilliant story, good movie, but it all took place on a planet with them running around with phasers. So my whole point is, like, I love the space action. I want to see the Enterprise in action all the time.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying, and I in many ways feel the same way, of course. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see where they take it. I'm all for Star Trek 4, and I like the Kelvin universe, so like, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Kirk to Enterprise. I'm gonna need another movie.
Good one. What?
Was it? Did you hear Uhura?
What?
That was so exciting.
That's amazing.
Okay, come on back, girl. Where'd you go?
I don't have visuals for this. We have our next story. I don't have visuals for this, and I don't want to like get us in trouble with like.
What do you got for me?
The licensing for the NFL or any beer companies, but I did want to talk about Spot in the sports ball.
Oh, my boy! I mean, don't call it a mechanical dog. A cobot. This was so exciting.
I loved it. So there
was
a commercial that featured the cobot, the walking animal. Is it animal dog? What do they say? Okay. What's the official terminology, please?
It's a robot.
It's a robot.
Look, folks,
it's a robot with four legs. So it's not bipedal,
arm.
quadrupedal. It also has the attachment. I watched the clip I got really hyped when I watched the clip of the CEO of Boston Dynamics went on Jimmy Fallon, like in the beginning of February, I think. Amazing display. They actually had 3 spots doing a dance routine.
Yeah, kind of corny. That's called choreography, and I know how to do that.
I just want to know, when are we going to have choreography with robots in the Summer Olympics? I think it's past time. But I just you are a certified operator now, and I just wanted to get your take on the commercial for Spot. But the commercial in the Super Bowl, it featured several robots, and they were hanging out with security guards,
including Atlas, which is a badass robot.
Yes, Atlas was there. But they were partying with the security guards at a company and drinking Sam Adams, and they had the Boston accents, and it was cool. Yeah.
They were. So it's the Sam Adams commercial, your cousin from Boston, which arguably is one of the best imitations, by the way, of a Boston accent and a guy from Boston.
I ask you about that. What's your rating?
He's 10 out of 10. I mean, it's like every guy from Boston, and especially when we were all at college, like it's like we've all met that guy.
Yeah.
And it's extremely well done. And what was really cool about that commercial is everywhere you see in that ad, that's where I was. That's the Boston Dynamics Waltham facility. And that was Spot. It was Atlas. There were a couple of other, I think one of the picker bots was there. You see Mark, forget his last name off the top of my head, the founder of Boston Dynamics, wearing his Hawaiian shirt that is like all Mark ever wears, his Hawaiian shirt. So it was great to see Mark. He's the one that's like, that is security. So it was just fun to see that. And everywhere that commercial was, I've been in those rooms when I was getting trained to be a Spot operator, because bringing Spot to Barcelona, baby. So really, really excited to see. I guess I'm excited to see that tech. And you know what, Ryan? I guess this is something we've never really talked about it this way, right? Yeah. Which is, whenever people talk about these robots, what do they always say? Oh, Black Mirror. Oh, Terminator. Right. It's always something negative,
right?
It's always something horrible. But with, well, not horrible, but movie science fiction-y stupid, right? So, but the reality is with commercials like this and with seeing Spot dancing on Fallon and some of these other things, we're sort of getting used to the fact that these are positive additions. That's why cobot is such an important term, because it's not, it's with us. It's cooperative with us. It helps us. Like, these are really, really cool devices. They're not out there doing what y'all think they're doing. They're out there making a difference and actually are very much in use, and especially in industrial sites. And we're going to have them at Mobile World Congress, but that's professional. I don't want to go there, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I don't care if we go there. Like, my whole point is, like, cobots, right, they have a function, and I do think it's really interesting use cases. I mean, you and I have been working in the Internet of Things space for years.
We have been.
And, everything from autonomous buses to drones that do inspections. I'm going to tell you right now, Spot can do a heck of a lot more than a drone. Let's just, it's
an amazing device.
It's really amazing to see the evolution and in these revolutionary pieces of machinery that, it's a lot going on behind the scenes. It really is. One other thing that I didn't know, and I think everybody has, thinks they've seen this. They've seen the clips of Boston Dynamics robots doing different stunts for a number of years now. Spot is the first commercially available cobot. Yes. So we've reached the point now where you're
very
going
affordable.
To have, people like you can be trained to do amazing things on a job site, which is interesting. So,
but that's what I do, Ryan.
Yes,
I do amazing things.
Yes, you do amazing things. I'm
not
going to argue that.
The title of my riveting biography, it's just amazing things. The Graeme Knows story.
Right. All right. I think that might be our stories for the weeks, folks. Well, for this week's in.
That's it. That's all we got. I thought you were going to let me rant about Putin.
Oh, you're right. I think we have 3 minutes left. 2 minutes.
I don't need 3 minutes.
Right, here we go.
I don't need 3 minutes for the rant.
All right, folks, get ready for it.
We don't go political. We don't get political on week's end, but this time I'm getting political.
Do it, baby.
Now, listen. Putin, baby, I know you're watching, and I need you to listen to me. We don't want to negotiate with you. I am not an authorized representative of the United Nations or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, but here's the deal. Get your fucking people out of anywhere near Ukraine and leave those people alone. Just trust me, folks, here. I'm solving this crisis, all right? I'm solving it right now. This is how it's all going to go down. Nobody wants war. The Olympics are on. You're supposed to be cool during the Olympics. I don't care the mud season's coming up and you're worried about your tanks. Get them out of there. God, little men and their big egos causing so many problems around the world. That's it. I don't want to I already had to take a whole bunch of my blood pressure medication this week anyway for many different reasons. And I don't want to have to take more of it today. The reality is I just think this little guy sucks and he needs to just go sit at one of his long tables and I don't know, do whatever he likes to do. Go back to his dacha or whatever they're called, their little houses in Sochi, and just leave us the rest alone. So anyway,
you have it, folks.
Yeah. So the crisis has been solved. Oh, yep.
War bad. I think what we've learned this week is war bad.
Yes.
Sports ball good.
Yes.
And robots are your friends, not food.
Oh,
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, we've learned a lot this week.
Those are very good morals of the story.
I feel good about this show. I feel like I really have grown as an individual.
I do too.
And as a co-host with a cobot.
Yes. And that, Simba, is how we are all connected in the great circle of life.
You're right.
Lion King again.
All right. Oh, well, it's time, folks.
Cheesy music? Oh, all right.
We're going to loop out. We're going to loop out. We're going to say goodbye. We're going to say thanks for watching, folks.
All right. I'm going to go back
once again.
Because I was very busy.
You were very busy.
Turn on. Damn it.
I've been your co-host. You can find me at the RAB on Twitter and other socials. This is Graeme Knows. You can find him at Graeme Knows on the socials, most of the socials. We'll see. But let us know what you think. Join us next Friday for another riveting dissection of all of the useless knowledge and geek trivia and happenings that you can think of.
Let's do it. Yeah. Let us know. Let us know what you're doing.
Yeah, baby. All right. Have a good one, Graeme. We'll see you next time.